One of the most important sales metrics for a sales leader is something called sales velocity. Very simply, calculation is take the number of open opportunities you have times by your historic win rate times your average deal size or average contract value and divide that over your sales cycle length. So the product of that is effectively how many dollars per day you'll be booking. So for example, if your target as a business is to add $1 million of ARR in a year, you need your sales velocity to be in that kind of $2,700 to $2,800 per day kind of range. So what's really cool is that the sales velocity acts as a couple things. One, it gives you an indication as whether or not you're on track, to hit your number. But it's also cool because it allows you to essentially use the metric as a kind of like a smoke detector. So what you can do is figure out, okay, where is it in my business that I can perform better to improve that sales velocity. So it always comes down to one of the four things. I don't have enough opportunities. I'm not winning enough of those opportunities. My deal sizes are too small, or they're taking too long. Pretty simple. So let's take an example of a company, and let's say that they've got 10 open deals. They win them half the time. They're good sized deals at 100K, and they take 60 days to close. Super healthy business, right? So the sales velocity on a business like that would be in the neighborhood of $8,000 a day or $3 million a year. Now, if I was a sales manager there, I'd ask myself, well, what could I improve? You're probably not going to improve the win rate. 50% on new logo, transactions, pretty good. You're not going to shorten the deal. 60 days is pretty darn short for enterprise software. You're probably not going to focus on increasing the deal size because 100K, nothing wrong with that deal size on a 60-day close. The opportunity to improve sales velocity is clearly on opportunity count. If you had 15 opportunities versus 10, you can improve your sales velocity by 50%. You can take that number from 3 million and get it to $4.5 million for the year. But let's just look at another example of an organization that let's say they have an ample funnel, 25 deals in the funnel, but their win rate's 25% on a $30,000 deal, and it takes them 6 months to close that. Well, the sales velocity projected on the year would be around 380K, so they would expect to book about 380K on the year. Well, if I was a sales manager in that business, I'd probably be looking not necessarily at the opportunity count. In fact, it might be a little high because my win rate's so low at 25%. I probably want to focus on my win rates. What can I do to get that win rate up to 30%? And how can I shorten the deal length? So let's just leave the deal size alone at 30K. How do I get that the sales cycle length from 180 days down to 120? Making those improvements, you'll go from 380K on the year to almost double at 680K. If you can just get that win rate up to 30% and shorten the sales cycle from 180 down to 120, that'll have a massive impact on your sales velocity. And those are like actionable things that a sales manager or sales leader can really focus on in the business. Improving win rate, lots of easy ways to do it. A lot of it could be in sales execution. Just helping the sellers and coach them through situations, analyzing where you're losing deals, certain competitors, certain industries. Maybe you're in a deal that you shouldn't be in and stop focusing there, and that can have a huge impact on your win rate. And on sales cycle length, going from 180 to 120, almost always it's the same thing. Contracts take too long, pricing, adds 30 days. Maybe you're not fast enough on the demo follow-ups. Maybe it takes too long to get the demo because of resourcing. There's countless reasons why deals take 180 days, and there's no reason why they couldn't take 120 days. So there's lots of things that a sales leader can do to action that kind of stuff. Now, what's kind of important is that you want to look at sales velocity by as many cohorts and subsegments as possible. So, what's your sales velocity by rep? What's your sales velocity by deal type? You want to, let's say, exclude existing customers, only focus on new logo. Certainly don't focus on renewal, or geography or industry. And this information, because it's all the important stuff. It's your win rate, average deal size, sales cycle length. all this information's really critical, and to be able to look at it at a sub-segment level to help drive improvements into the business.